going on, Jerome's? The nose still red. It won't quite pop. It's starting to become kind of painful too. Anyways, something that's also painful is the Vikings search for competency at the right guard spot. Now they drafted Ed Ingram in the second round coming out of LSU. You're hoping, okay, mammoth size, has great power, blah, blah, blah. Hopefully he will solve things at right guard. But Ed Ingram's tenure with the Vikings, it's been overall disappointing. And there's been some market improvement. Respect where it's due. He's been good in the run game. He's been whatever as a pass protector, and he's been involved in so many just random ass plays throughout his tenure with the Vikings that they're a meme unto themselves. And as the Vikings re-signed Blake Brandel to a 3-year deal, brought back Dalton Risner, the thinking was that there would be a true blue guard competition. Maybe not so much with Risner getting dinged up early in training camp, but Blake Brandel has thrived at that left guard spot. He's been great in the running game. He's been great communicating on that left side with JEROME. He's ranked solidly in terms of pass protection, and if he can clean up some procedural penalties, like Blake Brandel will be a very solid, competent starting left guard for the Vikings. So great job by Chris Cooper and company for identifying Brandel as a starter and securing him long term. Ed Ingram, not so much. 17 pressures, 3 sacks allowed, just at the bottom in all the metrics in terms of qualifying guards. It just hasn't been working out. So with Risner coming back from injury, as he has been cleared to return to practice, 21-day window coming off of short-term injured reserve. Now it is a competition at that right guard spot between Ed Ingram, the incumbent, and Dalton Risner, who started for the Vikings last year at left guard. So it is time for Roadhouse. All right, and both of them spoke to the local media jackals about the impending competition. Purple Persuasion did a great job of these. Ed Ingram talking about Dalton Risner return to practice. Quote, I feel like competition is always healthy. It pushes everybody to go harder so you don't get complacent and get comfortable, and I kind of like that. And that was the whole thinking in training camp, where it's just like, okay, so you brought back Risner, and he's going to push Brandel and or Ingram, and if one of them falters, it's going to be Risner's spot. And Ed did not have a good training camp, and also he was the only starter that played significant snaps in the second and third preseason game. So it was probably a bad sign, and I think if Risner was healthy, he probably would have taken over the right guard spot. There's a reason why in camp, before he got injured with that back, he was taking a significant number of right guard snaps with the second team because they were getting him ready. Even though he had played left guard throughout his entire NFL career. Risner was just excited to be. Dalton Risner's there has to be something else here, because Dalton Risner, he gets good reviews from his teammates. He's great in the media. He's loquacious, but 2 off seasons in a row, Risner unsigned, and it's not like he's hanging out for huge money, right? He signed for $3 million with the Vikings last season. He signed a very minimal deal this year. So why is it? Why is it that teams just don't sign him? Doesn't matter. But Risner talked about coming back and where he's going to play. Quote, I'm comfortable at right or left. Probably not going left. Whatever guard position it is, truly whatever position they want me to play, I'm ready to go. How about center? And talking about his back issues, Vikes fan page, Dalton Risner says he feels 100% healthy from his back injury dating back to training camp. Quote, something that took me longer than I wanted to get right. I feel 100% ready to roll. And with backs, I mean, you don't want to mess around with back injuries. Now, we don't know the specific nature of it, but the Vikings have worked through back injuries with Garrett Bradbury in consecutive years. So it's something that the training staff is familiar with. Plus, I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, like you're coming out of your stance and you're putting a lot of torque on that back, and you got to make sure that that thing is 100% or as close to 100% as possible, right? So yeah, there's a reason why it took Risner a little bit longer to get back, because you wanted to get him to 100%. And now, in terms of the offensive line, like I feel like if Risner steps in a right guard and or Ed Ingram really steps up his game, like the Vikings will have a competent offensive line with JEROME, Brandel, Bradbury, Risner or Ingram, and Brian O'Neill has been playing out of his gourd this season, which is fantastic. But they do have to be careful about this, because I think if they make a change, it has to be the permanent change. Like you can't go vacillating back and forth. You ain't going to be like Paul Brown shuttling in guards with your plays every single time. No, you ain't going to do that. And You don't want to break Ed Ingram's confidence either, because we've said that it might be beneficial for him to take a step back because he's been a 3-year starter, right? But being able to see the game from a different perspective and be able to catch his breath, be able to learn and grow and show with the coaches without getting shelled every single week, that could be good for him. Plus, you don't want to break his confidence because you might have to turn back to him at some point this season because, let's call it what it is. Knocking on wood, hopefully not, but injuries do happen. They are part of the games. Alien abductions are part of it. So I think that this is obviously good for everyone involved, and I think that Risner versus Ingram, let the best man win. All right, and hopefully it elevates both of their games, and hopefully the Vikings offensive line will benefit writ large. It'd be good. But your thoughts are thoughts. Dalton Risner and Ed Ingram spoke to the local media jackals about the upcoming right guard competition. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.